only way everything is going to come out. So make sure these elimination systems are open. Also, I think building up is important. Now, why do we do it for 2 hours at a time? It takes about 8 to 9.5 minutes to get total blood volume. That means as the blood is passing the electrodes, it takes about 8 to 9 minutes, 9.5, for that blood to make a complete circuit in my body and come back. So if we do it for 2 hours, you're really getting 12, almost 12 complete circuits of the blood so that you can deactivate the pathogens in the system, microbes and viruses and molds and funguses. So it takes that amount of time. Any more questions?
Yes, Dr. Eli. Is there a particular time of day that's important to be doing a blood electrification program?
That's a good question. And you know the best time of day? The time that you'll use it. Now, yes, we can talk about it. Is it easier in the morning or easier in the afternoon? Or some people, because it's so convenient and portable, you might even take it to work with you. Okay? It's easy to use. But the time of day, I suggest to my clients and patients in the evening where they can sit down and really pay attention to what they're doing. And you can sit maybe in a nice room, maybe a little meditation or listening to some music, but doing something consciously. You know that you're working on your health. So I like to work on my health consciously.
Yes, you mentioned 2 hours. Let's say if I wanted to put a lot of work into making myself healthier, and I want to do, let's say, 4 hours. Is that going to cause any harm to myself?
Now that's also a good question. Now let me explain. One of the differences between natural health and allopathic health is that we don't deal with specific diseases. What this unit is doing is promoting health. So it really depends on what you're using. What is the intent of the use of the machine? Are you trying to get rid of symptoms from some disease? Do you have cancer, hepatitis, some kind of disease? Or are you healthy and just want to promote even more health? So how you use the machine is really through your own knowledge of what your intent is. But I think if your symptoms are gone and you're feeling well, I think using the machine once you're feeling very well, once or twice a week, or maybe 1 week out of a month, or maybe doing the 4-week protocols once or twice a year. It really depends upon you. Because remember, when we're talking natural health care, what we're talking about is a process. Well, you eat and you're exposed to things all the time, so what's happening in that health process is how you'll determine to use the machine. Any other questions?
Yeah, I have a question. When would you know when to stop? You mentioned a minimum of 4 weeks, but I've actually heard that some people go longer.
One of the ways that you can tell that you're finished, I use live cell analysis in my practice, dark field phase contrast live blood analysis. So we look at the blood under a microscope. And the blood is just a wonderful picture of what's going on inside your body. You can see the shapes and sizes of the blood. You can see the garbage and debris that's floating around. And you may see all the debris from the deactivation of these pathogens by the electrification of the blood machine. So when you see that in your blood, even though you may feel better, you may want to continue a little more. Now, it's very important that you drink water and you keep the elimination systems open while you're using this machine because of that Herxheimer reaction. Remember, the Herxheimer is that medical term for the die-off and the elimination of all this debris. So it's very important that you're drinking enough water. Now, what do I mean by drinking enough water? However much you weigh, you take half of that and you drink it in ounces every day. So that's half your body weight in ounces every day. Now, when you're using this unit, I suggest drinking a large glass of water, maybe an hour before the unit, and again, a half an hour before the unit. And ideally, you would want to drink a glass of the ozonated water, which we will show that machine a little bit later. So you also might want to be careful when you stop. You know, if you've been using this machine for about 4 weeks, it does improve the oxygenation of the blood. It does improve the immune system. So stopping too suddenly maybe a little jolt to the body. So the same way you gradually built up, you may gradually lower the amount of time that you're using the machine. But while you're doing that, your other lifestyle habits do not want to slide. You want to continue eating healthy, you want to take the nutrients, and you want to continue drinking water. You can also know when you're done, maybe get a blood test if you were doing something specific because you had a blood chemistry as an example and you saw something that was off, and you get a new blood chemistry and you find that those chemistries are all back to normal. That might be another indication. But the best indication is still how you feel and what you want out of your own health and your own intention. Any other questions?
Yes, Doctor, I was wondering, is it safe to use this unit on children?
Now that's a good question. I have used this unit on children. There is no FDA rules and regulations on these units. And in natural health care, what we're looking at is the intention of the parents. So when you're talking about children, it's really up to the parents. I believe that the authority is in the parents to decide what their children need and not in the state. So that's a little political commentary, but I really believe that the parents determine what is best for their children.
I was wondering, would I repeat this process more than once, like say for health maintenance?
That's another good question. It kind of ties in what we've been talking about. Again, it's your intention. What do you want out of your own health? Remember, health is a process. Disease is a process. You are living a daily. You are maybe exposed to pollutants on a daily level, a daily basis. So depending upon what you want from your own self is how often you use the machine. I personally am very healthy, but I like to use the machine once a week. I'm sitting in front of the TV, like to play with the machine and use it. But if I felt, as an example, during the flu season when all of my clients and patients are coming in and everybody's sick, I might use it every other day, even 2 times, 3 times a week. But again, it's up to you. There are maintenance programs. Once you're healthy again, were you doing it because you were healthy and you want to just improve your own health or stay healthy? Is it preventive medicine? Or are you trying to get rid of some symptomology? And again, what's unique about this machine is that we don't deal with specific diseases. What we are doing is promoting health.
Yes, I was wondering, are there any dietary restrictions to consider when using this unit?
There are certain things that you do want to stay away from. I suggest not doing drugs. I suggest not drinking coffee or highly caffeinated teas or prescription medications, even synthetic vitamins and minerals. You want to be careful about. Now, Dr. Beck also talks about garlic, and that there's been some research, I know in Indian Ayurvedic medicine, they call garlic a tamasic food. It's a very reactive food. Now, minor amounts, again, garlic is a spice. It's not a food that you sit down and eat a plate of garlic. So if you were just using a little teeny bit as a spice for your foods, it probably would be okay. But if you're eating a lot of garlic to lower cholesterol or get your platelets to be thinner, I would suggest not doing garlic. Another thing, no alcohol, please. No alcohol, no recreational drugs, no smoking. There is a condition called electroporation, and electroporation causes the cells, the pores of the cells to become more semi-permeable. The pores are not more permeable, but the receptor sites are more active, so it picks up more. Well, if you have the antioxidants from good, natural, healthy vitamins, then those receptor sites are filled with good, healthy cells, and they won't pick up some of these other compounds. Again, excellent question.
Yeah, I actually have a comment. One time when I was doing my blood electrification unit, I did a little experiment. I decided to drink a cup of coffee while I actually had the unit going, just to see what it would do. And I didn't have any reaction from it whatsoever. I drank my cup of coffee. I only had about 20 minutes left on it, but I didn't get any reaction. But then there was another time where I took vitamin C just before, and I actually did get a reaction the next day from it.
We believe that this is very safe, but we do want to talk about the risks. So there may be this risk. That's why we suggest no alcohol, no coffee, no drugs. Really, it's better. Again, the intention. So if your intention is to promote health and you're drinking coffee and taking drugs and alcohol and you're still using the machine, there might be a little paradox going on here, okay? And I don't mean two doctors. So, other questions?